Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lifestyle Self-Made. My name is Yusuf Kulan, and I have Alice Siba with me today. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Excited to share our next guest.
Yeah, same here. I'm very excited to announce that today we're going to release the interview with Debbie Drum. And for the ones that don't know Debbie, I've had the opportunity to meet her 2 years ago in Austin, Texas, together with Alice. She's a really awesome person, very smart, intellectual, and fun person to be around altogether. She is a competitive pickleball player, content creator, as well as an AI enthusiast. In today's interview, or in the interview that we conducted with Debbie, we talked about everything ranging from how to manage your business, the different personalities, introvert and extrovert, and how that affects the business, as well as we talked about AI and how it has helped her in her entrepreneurial journey, which is different from what we've heard from other people that we have interviewed. Alice, do you have anything that you want to say before
Yeah,
we
Debbie is always a great person to talk to. I've known her for quite a while. We actually used to, especially during COVID, we used to do our own little podcasts for ourselves. So we would talk to each other on Zoom, catch up about business. Maybe we have some recordings somewhere. But yeah, I always enjoy talking to her. And she's been a competitive pickleball player for quite some time. But what we did learn about her, and I don't think you mentioned just now, is that she's also now a Sunbird at 44 years old. She lives in Long Island in New York State, and she goes down to Florida in the winter. And it was great to hear her stories about as a 44-year-old hanging out with all the retirees and how much she learns from them as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing this.
Before we watch the episode, I would like to remind you that we have some free classes that you can take to expedite your entrepreneurial journey. If you want to build your list, if you want to make more per sales, or if you want to build a sales funnel, we do have fundamental business classes that are available at ekithubuniversity.com for you to watch and expedite your learning journey and compress your learning curve. And for now, let's watch the episode with Debbie Drum.
Let's go.
All
So
right.
glad to have you here, Debbie.
Thank
And how
you so much.
joining us from Florida today, right? Is that right?
Yeah. Delray, beautiful sunshine, and it's freezing in New York, which is where I stay part-time now, back and forth, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
46 degrees there, and it's, what is it? 79.
And how
Birds
did
chirp.
that come about? Because I think that's just a fairly new thing, or
Yeah, this is my second season snowbirding, and I love to play pickleball. I've been playing pickleball for 7 years now. I just turned 44, so there's no real hope in going pro, which I don't actually really want to go pro because being a pro pickleball player means you have to kind of work a lot and you have to trade time for money. And if you win, obviously you get sponsored and all that good stuff. But I think that's a little unrealistic being the age that I am. So just having fun and not putting any stress that I have to win is like, I don't want to have to deal with that. The win to make money or win to get sponsored. I'd rather not even need that. And because I'm just so happy in my business, and my business allows me to play pickleball and not have to work all day and not have to go to an office and be stuck to a desk, which is awful. I've done it. And people are working from home more nowadays. So that's good. But they're also starting to get back into the office, which there's the grind, there's the daily commute, and so not fun, at least in my opinion.
What got you started with pickleball?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's more popular now, but you started when it was not as well known.
exactly. I'm so lucky because I always played sports. I've always been active, and that was missing from my adult life in my 30s. And my friend, we were going on a trip, and she shows me a YouTube video of this sport that she played with her dad called pickleball. And I was like, what? What is this? So We got it up on YouTube, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, I was born to play this sport." Like, I knew before I even picked up a paddle that I was gonna be good. I just knew it because I grew up playing handball because I grew up in Queens, New York, and that's what we did as a kid. There's literally nothing to do except go to the park and bring a ball and hit against the wall. So I like always kept myself busy as a kid doing some kind of like paddle, hand-eye coordination, something or other. And that's why as soon as I saw the YouTube video, it's like, holy crap, this is like for me. And then I just started playing and didn't stop.
Yeah, and you are a very competitive person, as I found out when I visited you, the games you guys would play by the pool and
There are some people who don't like that side of me. Actually, oopsie, sorry. But yeah, even when I was in college, I was competitive in school with my grades and I wanted to be like the top of the class. It's just some kind of killer instinct that I have inside of me that I have no idea where it comes from, to be honest with you.
yeah, but it must have helped you in your business, to be you're awfully young to be a snowbird, so
Yeah, most of my buddies here are like retired. Like, it's great because they're living life and they're happier than most people who are young and still at that part of their life. So quite interesting.
You mentioned entrepreneurship or your business allows you to play pickleball and without having to aiming to become pro or anything like that. What got you started with entrepreneurship and how did you get started?
Yeah.
And
So
how long has it been?
it's been 14 years since 2010. And what propelled me to look into working for myself, it was more so working from home, not so much for myself, because I did outside sales for 10 years before I started working from home. And I was literally like in my late 20s, early 30s, and I had back pain, I had knee pain, I had all these types of ailments that go along with sitting too much, driving too much, being on planes and trains. It just was not agreeing with me. And it's not that I wasn't taking care of myself. I guess I didn't know how to take care of myself at that age and that time. And also at the same time, I was working for people who I didn't really want to work for. Let's just leave it at that. We won't say anything mean or anything like that, but that really lights a fire under your butt when you're just not happy about where you want to be. And luckily at that time, I saw people who were making money from home and I'm like, how the hell did does this even happen? Right. And literally was nonstop. I self-taught, bought courses, and luckily I was able to make money with my job at the same time as getting my business started. So I pretty much would wake up at 5 in the morning and work on my business, then do my real job, and then work a little bit at night. And then I think it was like 2, maybe 3 years, I was able to go full time and quit my day job because I remember crying every day. I was just so unhappy. I wasn't where I wanted to be. And yeah, and that lights a huge fire underneath you. At least it did for me to get out of that situation and just go for it.
So doing your job as well as trying to establish your business within those 3 years, have you ever reached a point where you felt like you're very close to burnout or anything like that?
It Actually, that's a good question. I don't think so, honestly. I really don't. I was able to, if you asked me to do it today, I wouldn't be able to do it. But working 14-hour days in the beginning was pretty easy. It doesn't take a toll on you until it does. And hopefully when the time it does, you have enough built behind you that you can like take a little break and pull back. And that actually did happen. I remember it was 2016 and I had built like a few softwares. Already had a list. I already had my niche. And I don't know when I met you, Alice, but you were very influential in my business because we both make money with content, right? That's
Mhm.
what we do. At the core of it, that's really what we do. It's creating content. And it's funny because that's like a buzzword today. Like the kids, the influencers are like, oh, I got to go create content. And it's like, all right, what kind of content am
Yeah,
I
it's funny. And that's a word that I used to use and people would not quite get it. Or if they
creating?
would read it, they'd read it as content. Like it was
Yeah.
just a word that people didn't get. Now it's so mainstream. Yeah, everyone's making content.
Yeah. And it's
Creating
like neither
content.
and like people though, they still cannot grasp what I do. I'm sure you're in the same situation. And it's almost like what I do changes per conversation so that
Yeah.
people couldn't understand. And I literally make money, I don't know, about like 100 different ways. So it's like the conversation can be different every single time. And I always just want to say the right thing to resonate with somebody, but that doesn't always happen.
Yeah. I think I get fewer questions now though. People like get it a bit better or they think they get it. And I'm like, that's fine. You don't actually really need to know.
Exactly,
Yeah, I'm
right?
okay with you thinking whatever it is. I
Don't
don't.
really have to explain
Yeah.
every aspect of it to you.
So what I gotta mention your puppy. I miss your puppy,
Mhm.
Frankie. And I think about, I know Frankie's not with you now, but you were mentioning before that Frankie goes on the plane with you,
Yeah.
and I wish that I had do that. I do have dogs, but I don't think they would do that. But what I'm wanting to know is I often think about like when I was a kid and like my parents had jobs, we went to school, the dogs were home alone for so long and they seemed okay. And now like our dogs are so spoiled. Like you walk out of the house for 30 minutes and they're like, where did you go? It's like, how is Frankie when you are away?
Luckily, she's not alone. So, she's more when I'm around, obviously we're together more because I do work from home every single day. But actually now that this apartment in Delray is a little small, so she literally has one seat that she sits in all day long, and now she's 12. So I'm like, this isn't the best for her. That's one of the reasons why she's not here because it's like she just sits a lot and lays a lot. But one of the things that I just did yesterday, which is like a future goal of mine. Do you know the clubs, the gyms? They're called Lifetime. It's like a chain. I don't know if you have that in
Not sure.
Canada.
I don't think we have it.
We don't
No.
have it here, but I'm familiar with the name. Yes.
So they're like these monstrosities of a gym chain, and they're amazing. They're like 5 levels up. They've got pickleball courts now. They've got all these things to attract like athletic people and yoga classes, Pilates studios. They got the jacuzzi and they got the sauna and the pool. It's just amazing. And they're all over the country. And a couple of the locations have homes attached to them. Like you could actually like rent or buy.
Oh, never
Uh,
have to leave the gym.
exactly. And then what usually it's a chain. So what usually is around these lifetimes are like these really nice supermarkets. A lot of times they're Whole Foods. And then you got your shopping. So it's almost that it's like a community. And I'm not quite there with the living aspect of it, but that's like in the future, maybe. But I did join Lifetime and I've been having like a great time just, in the spas and taking my yoga class. And then if I want to take a nice shower, they have everything for you to get ready. And then you could take your laptop to the cafe. So it's almost like you never really have to leave. You can live
Yeah, I'm
this.
not surprised we don't have this. That sounds very American like.
Um,
Everything here. Canada,
Yeah.
they don't go so big
We
and
we have, I don't know, YMCA is similar, but they don't have pickleball courts or anything like that. They've got pool and then a bunch of other things, but no, it's
I
not like
mean
the
the
US.
experience. It sounds like they have
Yeah.
products. Are you saying like they have products in the bathroom
yeah.
and everything for you to get
Um,
ready?
Yeah. I mean, they have everything. You have shampoo, you have razors, you have shaving
I
cream, you have,
YMCA
hair
does not do that.
blow
no,
dryer.
no, definitely
Like,
not. What's the membership fee, like the monthly membership fee?
yeah, not cheap, especially if you have like family members. It goes like from 279 and then it's $100 more. So it's a
Oh,
commitment. But for me, I'm at a point where I don't always only want to stay home. I want to see people. And
right.
now I'm actually doing stuff in my business where I can and would work with like higher end clients, teaching them how to use AI in their business. So I have actually something marketable that I could just talk about with successful people. And that's something that I'm always like,
You mean like
trying
you
to
would meet
people.
you can meet people there or what do you I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
You're in the jacuzzi and it's like you just pick up a conversation and I know that Alice and I kind of relate to this, but we're also very relatable in the sense where we're comfortable being introverts, but we can be extroverts, right? And I follow this woman. She's a great business person. Her name is Carrie Sanchez. I just follow her on YouTube and she talks about how, like, I don't give a shit if you're an introvert, you're an extrovert. These are the things that you have to do in business. And it's like, you can't use that excuse anymore. Oh, I'm an introvert, so I can't do this. Or it's no, these are the things that you have to do
Mm,
to, I guess, make it for yourself, right? If you want
yeah.
to have business, you can always hire people, but who the hell can do that, especially when they're starting out? You got to be your own spokesperson. Now AI can be a spokesperson for you, but that's more challenging than just opening up your mouth and talking.
Yeah, it still requires an extroverted mind to teach the AI, right? You
Absolutely.
I find that being an introvert and extrovert is it's like an engine. You can turn it on and off whenever you want to, right? So it's but obviously there are ways that you can do to train yourself to be like more of an extroverted person. I'm naturally more introverted. I like to be by myself and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
from time to time, I have to step out of my comfort zone in order to do certain things that I don't like to do. And when you do it more often, it becomes more natural. Like doing like the podcast. Initially, I'm like, do I want to do it? And then eventually after now we're into what, how many episodes? 5 or 6. And it feels like more natural. And it feels like I stepped out of my comfort zone in that sense.
but wasn't the podcast or wasn't it your idea though? Like
It was, yes. And it was one of the things that I forced upon myself in order to step out of my comfort zone. Yeah, but that's what you just got to train yourself to turn it on and off whenever you want to.
where are
Absolutely.
you introverted though, Debbie?
I
And what
do. Yeah, I like to. My favorite time is just like sitting and creating and writing or doing something that's not involved speaking to anybody. And I have a rule that I don't talk on Mondays.
the whole entire thing? Like a month? Like that kind of not talking?
Yeah, I find that Mondays I can get so much work done. So there's no phone calls, there's no interviews, there's no like videos that I'm even shooting
Right.
because that's not the day for it. It's just a quiet day where I just keep my head down, get stuff done. Because the thing is, once I speak or do something for 45 minutes, an hour, that involves speaking, then I tend to get a little tired after that and I have to control that and maintain that somehow.
Yeah,
A
it
lot.
used to be for me to do anything like this or even like what any type of longer video or training that yeah, the whole day would be shot after that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing anything. Just
I,
I could do some work after. Sorry.
Yeah.
I said I'm still in that phase. I don't want to do anything. I'm just gonna go to
Yeah.
sleep.
And now, like the webinars, like I used to do live webinars once a week, and the live where you
Oh,
record stuff and play it. I'm like, I'm doing a webinar, but you're not really doing it. That's been such a game changer.
yeah. So how do you like, because you talked about like Mondays are a quiet day or your mind day and it's in your day, but how do you divide up the rest of it, like your week are there strategies you use to stay more productive there or to make sure you have more time to do the things you want, whatever your priorities are?
Yeah. Usually, if I have a project going on, I like to spend about an hour a day of zoning in on that project. I tend to not like to rush projects. So I don't like to say, oh, I'm building this and it's going to be ready next week. I give myself enough time. But I also feel like sometimes I could push myself more and get stuff done quicker. But I there's no reason for me to rush anymore, which is nice.
Yeah, if it's working for you. But when you
Yeah.
say like you give yourself more time, do you still give yourself a deadline, but you just give yourself a longer one, or do you leave
Yeah.
it open-ended? Okay.
A longer deadline and a realistic one too. One of the things that I just hate doing is rushing through anything. And there's just no point to it. But with the help of team members, getting smarter about processes and systems and taking things off my plate that I don't necessarily love to do, which you are the queen. You guys do that very well, king and queen. That's something that I've gotten better at over the years as opposed to doing everything myself, which I have no problem working, honestly. I really don't. I might work about 3 or 4 hours a day now. So
That's nice. Yeah. When I visited you, and I obviously maybe because also I was visiting, so there was maybe more social time. And I feel like you have a nice community of friends, and you guys do a lot of stuff that you do spend. You have a great balance of work
yeah.
and play.
And also right
I miss
now,
your friends. They're so great.
I know that was so much fun when you came to visit. That was really great because that's, oh my God, now another person that they don't know what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another thing that I manage every day, I work out like 90 minutes a day. So that's something that I schedule in even before work sometimes now, because that just like for my overall health, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And of course, we've got the garbage people outside. They're never out there when I'm not on a
It's all right. They got to get their work done so they can be off and have some fun.
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you too. Also, sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, go no, you go.
Just about the work that you do seem you take your physical health seriously. Now, is it like a thing to want to be healthy? Is it more that you have this drive to what is it, the competitiveness was? And how does it like enhance your life?
Yeah. So basically, like to play pickleball for me, I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't like really and it's not really like working out that I do. It's more like my own physical therapy. More so like even learning how to breathe properly, to diaphragmatic breathing. There's something that I'm really focusing on these days, just getting my breath right to play and to not get injured, knock on wood. So I actually work out and train more than I play pickleball these days, which I don't know, it sometimes can be boring and tedious and lonely, but again, you have to make it not. Right? Listen to audiobooks, listen to music. I try to learn at the same time. I kind of multitask, right? So Yeah, it is out of necessity that I don't get injured and I
Yeah.
get out of pain because that's something that I'm dealing with as well. Yeah, and I have to manage not sitting too much because that's like the culprit. If I sit
Doesn't.
too much, it's no good. So I used to be able to sit so long, and that's how I got all that work done in the beginning. Now, like I said, I wouldn't be able to do it. Even long car rides are like not fun, but I try not to complain too much and just grin and bear it.
So just to bring it back to business, it sounds like you've streamlined your business with AI a lot. So you've incorporated into your business. First of all, what's your opinion on AI? Because I know some people dislike it and some people like it. And then after that, maybe address how you actually incorporate it into your business.
I absolutely love the fact that AI has come into our lives. I think that we are so lucky to be part of this generation. I think that I relate this to the World Wide Web. I think it's even bigger than the World Wide Web because when the World Wide Web came about, whoever got in early, whoever started making sites and making content and Google AdSense, right? Then they got slapped, but they made money and they learned that that was in college when that all went down. So I didn't make any money. I just got the benefits of going online and looking at stuff. I think that crypto is not as big as the World Wide Web, not as big as AI, but that is some kind of thing that stirred the pot. But then AI came along, and I think this is just huge. I think that there's so much opportunity for people now more than ever. I feel like the content marketing, while still lucrative, I think it was getting stale and boring, in my opinion. And I'll never forget, it was February of 2023 where I got on Skype with my friend Jonathan, and he was like literally writing books with AI. And I was like, oh my God, I don't really know anything about this. And then when I started working with him and learning from him and then getting some traction on my own and applying it to my own business and then teaching it to other people, everything just, it's almost like the sun came out of the clouds. Like it was just a new thing to be excited about, right? And then old things that were boring as a content marketer and a publisher, like for instance, book writing. I was huge into publishing books. That's how I actually got started in the content business. And I went away from that because I was like, I did that. It's boring to me now. I want to move on. I want to do other things. And now it's like everything that was old is new again. And
You
that's what's
mentioned
so exciting.
you mentioned like how content it was stale. Now, did you mean from your perspective or this perspective of the like what the output?
From
Like
my
what did AI bring that improves like
Yeah,
what's out
from
there?
my perspective, there's always going to be money in content marketing. From my perspective, there's always something that kind of comes along in in our space that you could focus on and capitalize on and monetize and teach. For instance, remember Alice, the whole printables thing, right? When the printables thing came out.
Well, printables. I heard principles. I'm like, oh,
Printables, right?
yes.
Making money with one page content, one page, right? That was like, oh, that was so huge. That was big. And then there's like waves for me of things that I can remember, like going back to 14 years and just like hype, right?
Yeah.
Ups and downs. And with AI, it's, oh, now, even though printable is like a old topic for me, now we can bring it back and say, how do we create printables with AI?
Tell us, because that's what I want to ask you.
Yeah. It's just you could do anything with AI. And the thing is that what AI did is that it stirred up a conversation that has really been around for a very long time, which is automation. Automation has been around forever. And even for programmers and software developers, like this isn't new to them, but now it's a new conversation because everyone's talking about automation, or they should be. Like Aweber or autoresponder is an automation, but
Yeah.
just adding a to whatever automation you're building is now a new conversation. So that's why it's just so exciting, because old conversations turn into new conversations just by talking about AI or inserting AI into the conversation.
Yeah. And that gets people's interest because everyone's obsessed with that. Everyone. But how do people, like, in making printables, how do you use AI? Like in the research process, or is there software that creates it? Or
You could literally create a printable with ChatGPT. Like there are these fun those emoji games where you write out an like a series of emojis and it equals a phrase. Have you ever seen that game?
not really?
Oh, it's a really fun game.
Okay.
I don't know, like a smiley face and golf. It could be, what's that movie? The golf movie. I can't even think of an example right now, but like emojis, you have to guess what phrase the emoji
Okay.
is showing. And you could actually have ChatGPT write you an emoji game. Like without even, you used to have to like do the research and be creative and do it yourself. And now you could just tell ChatGPT, make me an emoji game, which is, if you look on Etsy, that's a fun game that people buy printables for different kinds of events, like baby showers,
Oh, okay.
holiday cards, or games that people play for kids, whatever. You could do math printables. You can do AB.
Are there AI tools that lay it out, or you're just getting the information and you're laying it out yourself?
I'm sure there are, but the thing that I teach and go by is, if you don't need to buy a specialized software, then don't do it. You can just use ChatGPT and pay that one subscription. But there are other tools. There's so many tools out there now, which is also really exciting as somebody who, part of my business is affiliate marketing. So I'm an affiliate for all these cool tools that I use. And there are fun image tools that I like. There's a fun tool where you can actually do a whole presentation just like this, put the video into the tool, and it speaks in a different voice, like Pink's voice, or some other famous person, right?
Is that legal? Or at least
Now it is. For now, it seems like they
yeah.
haven't really cracked down on it, but
But that doesn't
there
mean
are
it's
talks.
necessarily
Like,
legal.
or not, so people don't know that it's pink, right? So part of what I teach is that sometimes it could be good to have somebody other than you in your business that's
Yeah.
teaching something, right? Maybe I want to teach something and do it but this isn't text to speech. This is voice to voice. So I'm giving the whole presentation and then I'm converting my voice. I'm not like a robot that sounds like,
This
not
is
those.
like pen names on a whole different level now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can be my own character. I could be a real human, but then it gets transmitted into a guy's voice or something like that. And I could say, I'm going to hand this over to Dan. He's my virtual assistant and he gives a lot of my presentations for me. He knows this stuff better than I do. It's really made. It's great.
So how do also, like, I'm thinking more people are doing this. It means content. It's already noisy on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then now there's AI, so everyone's producing mass amounts at varying quality levels, and all. And
Yeah.
so, how do you like cut? How do you think people should cut through that noise and stand out, or
Yeah.
so
So
find the problems, people?
Yeah, it does. Even somebody seasoned like me, don't think that I don't worry about that. And it's not because of AI. In my opinion, it's because of COVID brought so many people online, which made it like really competitive. Because what COVID did is it brought very high level sophisticated programs to the internet. So if you weren't if you're not producing at a very high level, like your shit has to be good. Like that has to be good. If it's not good, then you're not going to make it very far. And this should have always been the case, but it's the case now more than ever. And now that AI is layered on top of this, right? It's almost like things are getting so, so good. So you have to make whatever you're creating has to be unique. It has to
Yeah.
be interesting. It has to be high quality. And I believe that's what we're competing on right now. Right now is like a lot. We're all competing against each other, but there's room for everybody. So don't worry about that. But I think what's going to happen in the next maybe 5 years is the people that don't make it are going to drop off. And then the cycle is going to continue. They're going to just get regular jobs and do whatever they got to do. So to answer your question is what's so amazing about the time that we live in, and just because AI is what AI is, business fundamentals are still needed. We still need to do all the things that we needed to do back in 1999, which
Mm.
is build a list, keep creating, be innovative, and grow our audience and grow our community. Grow your list. Oh, did I say that already?
Yeah. And build the
And
brand.
make offers and stuff, which a lot of people like, they don't add the monetization piece to things.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And it's like they don't create enough. And that's the thing that most people don't know. Oh, I published a book and it's not getting traffic. What do I do? Publish another book.
Yeah.
Publish something else to bring interesting things to
Yeah,
your book.
get on some interviews, may publish
Yeah.
related content. And there's always it is work. Like we can do the work when we want to, but it's you still have to do that work.
Yeah. Exactly. And I made it a point to say that I worked 14 hours a day when I started out, and that was for 5 or 6 years
Yeah. I
straight.
never did that. I won't do that, but I admire it.
I had a lot of that like sweat equity thing going on.
Yeah. I had a baby when I first started, and then I had another baby, so it wouldn't have worked.
Well, amazing and that's a whole other side of what we're talking about, like hiring the right people, being boss and doing that side of things. And or finding the middle ground, which I always did. I did a lot, but I also got help when I needed it. I had partners too. Sometimes partners help, but be careful with partners.
Yeah, you do have to be careful and don't go all in with somebody right away. When you can work together, you bring your different skills, you bring your different resources like audience or I partnered with different people who had certain skills and maybe I had the audience and that
Yeah.
brings things together.
Yeah, I personally, just to bring it back to AI, I think the people that will benefit the most from AI are the ones that will create a brand out of it, whether it's a personal brand or something else, rather than just creating content to put out there. And what I mean by that, it could be like even like a book, a kid's book about whatever, that you make it like a really good book that people are interested in the story. Because you as a person, you actually, although you're using AI, you can choose which direction the AI will go. So people that will create like a personal brand or like whatever, like a book.
They mean like series of like kids' books that are like people know by name sort of thing.
Exactly.
Instead
Exactly.
of a lot of people focus on, okay, I'll flood Amazon and see what sticks, which
Yeah.
obviously may need to do. You're starting out, but then also going to that next level of building a following, building, talking about this specific thing. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's and finding direction sometimes is challenging. I change direction a lot too, and I guess that's good for about my business that I'm able to pivot. And it's just choosing where you spend your time and choosing that wisely, right? So at this point now, when I evaluate a project, I know pretty quickly if it's going to work or not work. So if it doesn't, I know it's not going to work. I'm just not going to do it. And in the past, I was like, maybe I'll do it. Let's see. But that's time wasted where you can be either doing something else or doing nothing. You choose. Or doing something else, not that involving like work, maybe like spending more time with your family, maybe spending more time getting healthy, whatever it is.
So what's the most important thing to Debbie? What
Ooh.
gets like what I'm not gonna qualify that question. I was gonna throw that at you.
Yeah. These days, honestly, it's like just meeting people who elevate me, spending time with people who are smart and they make me laugh and smile. I think that's like the best medicine for a happy life. And I study and practice the law of attraction. So it's all about the journey and enjoying the journey. And once you get the thing that you want, you always want something else. And we're human. That's the way we are. We're always going to want more, and that's okay. So that's why if you realize that every day is just a journey to get to whatever you want, and then some, and then just knocking out the people who are not good for you, don't make you happy.
Literally.
You can do that too. Like
Yeah,
knocking out your brain.
what I like about having an online business is you really have a lot of control over who is in your life and who you give time to. And because I do hear people complain about that. I'm like, why do you associate with them? But it's like you have to because there's work, there's other things, and like you just don't have a lot of choice. But that is one of the wonderful things is, and then because who you surround yourself with has a lot to do with how happy you are and how successful you are in life. So it is a definite blessing to not get saddled with those coworkers from hell and all that stuff.
Yeah, and if you're on the list of people who I talk to on a Monday, then you're pretty darn lucky.
Have a quiet day.
That's how I see it.
So to just wrap it up, if you could go back in time, is there anything that you would change about your journey to become an entrepreneur? Like any tips or advice that you would give to somebody that is just starting right now?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that I would change because I did everything perfect. Just
You're one of those, eh?
the one thing that I would recommend to people who want to grow their business, and then something that this is how me and Alice we met at a live event, and meeting people and networking with people who are like minded, and not only seeing where your business can take you both, but where you can grow as a friendship, and just adding people to your life that create those high vibes, those high vibe feelings. That's what's going to catapult you. Because I see so many people, they're trying so much to do it themselves. And that's one thing that I never did. I never did it all alone. Yes, alone part was the creation and the idea generation. That's the really hard part about it. Because there are some great ideas that you have. There's other ideas that are just complete flops. And that goes along with the territory. So if there was one thing I would change, it would be all the bad decisions of those flops. But you learn. It's all a learning process. But if you can align yourself with people who perhaps like already have an audience and you add something to their life and that they could share to their audience, and how much are you going to grow as opposed to doing like Facebook posts and trying to get there organically and by yourself. As much as this is like an alone type business, you can you can work with other people and gain that momentum and gain those people in your life to where you can both help each other.
I love
Right. And
that. But yeah, we need people. Like, and even in this AI time, it still comes down to people. And I love that you mentioned like the mutual like benefit, but it also is leveraging your contacts at the same time. They leverage you as well. Like, we can go a lot more if we work together, right?
yeah. And life is abundant. There's enough for everyone. There's really no competition because if you have something that you bring to the table that's unique, there's no one else like you.
Yep.
You're the only you. So that think in abundance and you'll never go without.
So, Debbie, where can people want to connect with you? Where would they find Debbie the person or the
I mean,
business woman?
I'm at debbiedrum.com, and my main kind of thing that I'm doing these days is a course that I have. It's called AI Freedom. And if you go to debbiedrum.com, you can opt in to register for that free training, watch it. And I teach pretty much the main aspects of AI, how to use it in your business, and also how to monetize AI for your business.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sweet. Thank you guys.
All right. Take
Thank you,
care.
Debbie. Take care.